Yo, how we doing today, man? Back to back winning days on days that I've traded. I did not trade yesterday, so obviously you can't really win a trade that you didn't take. So back to back winning days that we participated in, and we made 112 today on two micros. So a lot of you trolls love to say his wins are smaller than his losses. Yeah, this win is smaller than my loss, but it is because of the context of the trade. Also, because a lot of my losses are bigger than they should be. And that's not making excuses. That's just the facts. Sometimes I take bad setups and I take too many trades and I lose more than I should. That's not my strategy. That's not, on the wins, right? Because when I'm winning and I do the right thing when I win, most of the time you're not going to make as much as you're going to lose when you're crashing out, right? It's just not going to happen. If you're trading the right way, when you win, you're not going to make as much as when you're crashing out. And that's just why my account loses sometimes more than my wins, is because of that. Nothing to do with my strategy, anything like that. But it's a nice chunk to get back on our balance, our drawdown, and give us some more breathing room, right? That's all we're really working on, is like eat away at some of the losses and work on finding our form again and being confident again in the market. I really wanted to keep trading after my first trade. If we pull up the market executions here, I only took the one, and I ended up I took a short here. I'll go over how I came to get this short, but it was really more of it was inversion plus a change in state delivery is what I waited for, plus this 5-minute gap unfilled. I really wanted to see, let's get rid of these executions now. I really wanted to see this 5-minute gap get filled if we were either going long or short the rest of the day. I wanted to see that get filled. That was kind of my intermediate short term during the session bias that I really wanted to see play out. So I guess we'll actually just jump into the trade real quick. The day, coming into the day, right, I wanted to see us run these equal highs finally, but we don't need to because ES has made an SMT there. So ES has already swept those highs. And I then want to see this high potentially. But in the back of my mind, I kept in mind the fact that we had this data low right here that was a potential liquidity pool, right? This thing ended up being too strong for the market is my only guess, is because it looks like the market just could not leave this data low alone, and we dumped off open. I got a little bit of FOMO early because I really did live time. You might call me crazy, but I was looking at this 1-minute gap and I was honestly thinking about maybe taking a trade off of it. The stop just felt a little bit big. It just felt like a little bit of a chase. So I was like, you know what? I don't know who's thinking right now. I don't know if that's, profitable me or if it's unprofitable me thinking about taking that trade. So I said, I'm going to sit out. We would have been done for the day with a lot more of a win, a lot bigger win than we got. We would have been done really, really quick. No stress, no pain, just straight dumps. 2 candles, we would hit our $200 a day, and it would have been, nice. Nice to know you. See you tomorrow, right? Cool. We also were looking at this 1-minute inversion when it happened because we did tap this high. But again, I would much rather see London high get hit first and then go lower than this. It was really early on market open. This was 9:30, 9:39. Like, macro wasn't even open. It was so early in the market. But who could have known that we would dump to Asia low? Like, this is Asia low right here. We just ran straight through Asia low. This is Asia low. We just ran straight through London low. We ran to Asia low, and Asia low right here, and we took data low. Took out the previous day low. What else did we take out? We took out 2 days ago low, and we took out the weekly low that we had an SMT with right here. We had a bullish SMT. NQ didn't take it. ES did. Now that's no longer the case, and now we have an SMT between this low. That all being said, hectic morning, hectic start. Nothing I can do. Absolutely no context to frame a trade. It just dumped without me. I wish I had a model that would allow me to maybe, trade this fair value gap here, but that's just not my model. And you have to be okay with the fact that sometimes, you just can't get involved, right? If I traded random fair value gap taps after a dump of 200 plus points, then I would have got tagged in this with my model, and I would have made a great trade. I would have made a good trade today. 95 points to the data low. And then if we held our runner to the low, we would have 250 points. But that's not my model. It's not really a model that I think I will ever be doing, right? So it doesn't matter, right? That's the main point, is you have to remember, just like yesterday's video was just talking about not FOMOing, not whatever, not taking impulsive setups. Just because it's moving doesn't mean I have to be part of it. And it's hard. Even today, it's hard. It's every single day it's going to be a battle that you wake up and you say, you see something and it's like, I wish I was in. I wish I was making money, because it feels nice. It feels nice to make money today. It feels nice to get my account closer to even. It feels good to, it just feels good to do, right? But it's not needed. And that's the main thing, right? The main thing is that's not needed. So what was my trade idea? Again, the 5 minute, I kind of went over why I wanted to see the 5 minute get filled, this 5 minute balance. If we're going to go higher or lower, I wanted to see his rebalance here. One, we hit equilibrium of this massive leg down. We trade all the way up. So you can just assume with this much bearish, this bearish of a move, this displacement, that you could hold the 50% and find some sort of retracement to what? 50% of the move up, which we didn't actually quite get, but you got some sort of a pullback after that move. And again, normally you don't see, when you see this big of a move bearish, you don't just see a straight move up. So I could anticipate a move lower, right? I noticed this fair value gap right here that I wanted to see as inverse. We were also holding this fair value gap right here on the 1 minute. Very nice. And we actually end up inversing. We did not inverse right here, so this is why I actually end up waiting a little bit longer to get in the trade. I zoomed in. We didn't inverse. I didn't want to jump the gun, even though it would have worked and, again, made me more money. But then, what was it? There was a down close candle right here that you have to zoom in to see. So this was what became the change in state delivery to the downside. If we close below. So I pretty much just waited. I could have gotten in on this candle on the inverse, but I really just wanted to see this change of state, just kind of peace of mind. And then I was going to go break even at this low, which is the 5 minute gap. And I also took one partial there, and then I end up parceling all the way out. So I'll pull up the trade video real quick and we'll kind of break that down. Exactly what I was telling you guys. But let's see kind of how the entry actually ended up happening here. We end up waiting. We end up getting a little bit worse of an entry just because, let's see. I think when it closes. I wanted to see, okay, retested the CISD, I think. I get in there. So not a really bad entry, right? Pretty close to the CISD. And we would have never gotten the $200 day if we held out for that, so it's good. I had a loose stop. I wasn't really planning on getting it that far up. I ended up moving to break even too early. That was a mistake. But I think today's volatility and movement was really kind of scaring me. So I went to break even a lot quicker than I should have. But I think I really liked the wick that we had put in there. I really liked this wick already. And I wanted to see us continue lower and get to the 5 minute pretty quick. But again, that was a premature break even. So looking at the replay, it is actually a mistake. But I definitely didn't really like how big the range was today, how quick everything was moving, how big the moves were. I don't know. I was a little bit just hesitant to be involved in this type of day. So we took our first partial, and we were going to hold to make the $200 day, which wouldn't have been that far down. You'll see I'll move my take profit here to here. I would have just needed to come down to here. It would have been nice if it just continued to flush through. But I end up trailing my stop eventually. Whenever we made an order block there, I trailed my stop to lock in $31. And then when it ran below this low here, I trailed my stop to this 5 minute fair value gap because I didn't want to see us come out of it, which ended up working out. I don't know if it was really good or bad on my part, but I really didn't believe in a big move short after 400 points. Like I really expected us to keep going higher from this 5 minutes. So I really want to be more aggressive and just take it where I could, right? And that ended up being $112. That's why I didn't make 200. But I'm not super disappointed besides the quick break even. Everything else was pretty good. And as you see, I would have stopped at break even, so it was pretty good to get that out of the way. Again, I do a lot better when I have these quick trades. The other trade on Tuesday was a quick 6 minute trade. The trade today was 1 minute, and my other partial's out within the next 2 minutes. So I really do a lot better which everyone does when the trade is quick, just because it is easy, right? It's easy on the mind. You don't have to really stress. I do need to get better at just not only being able to trade when they're quick, but why is it not working? But there's always room to improve. I do like the trade. I could have jumped in the trade there right when that happened, and I would have never gotten 50 points, even if I would have held. But again, I didn't really fully expect this move bearish to hold all the way. What was one thing that I'm most happy with today is the fact that as soon as that trade ended, I locked my account. Why is that important? Well, because I could easily have just gotten focused on the $200 day. Oh my gosh, if I just take one more trade and just get 40, 45 points on one micro, or if I take 2 micros, I get about 25, 23 points, 22 points, I can get my $200 day. But then I thought about it, and it's like, okay, well, I forgot one more confluence of this trade, 15-minute gap. Not that important. Also, 30-minute gap open. We didn't tap it, but 15-minute gap. That was also confluence. I just wanted to make sure to say that. But back to what I was saying about locking my account. The reason why it was so important to just lock my account today is because on a day like this, just don't get greedy, right? Do not get greedy. A day where I move my trade, I got into the trade and I moved my stop to break even so quickly, that's a sign to me that I'm not confident. I'm not really comfortable in the market today. My head's not in the right place. So because I took a win, I didn't have to have any fear of being down. I didn't have to have any of that negative emotions. So I took the chance while I was still thinking clearly to lock myself out. I probably should have been able to not even trade today after not getting a trade and we sold off 464 plus points. I should have been able to probably not even push a button today. So all of those things in consideration, I made a decision that I didn't want to even allow myself a chance to trade at all, because I already was feeling a little bit emotional in terms of wanting to make more money. The candles are moving quick. It would have been, if you get in the right way, you're going to make a lot of money, right? I took a nice trade on practice on paper. If you guys don't believe me, right, when I was saying I was looking at this move, I took it on paper. Again, it doesn't really matter, it's on paper, but to show, I got in on this inversion right here, sold one, I don't know where, at this low right here, and then sold one at this low, and we almost made a $200 day if we trade 2 micros. We trade 2 full contracts. So that kind of shows you, and we missed out on the majority, but that was the trade today on that account. But besides the point, I noticed that I wasn't too confident in the market conditions today, and I didn't want to allow myself to give up a winning day. Not because, you have to have a winning day, but I didn't want to take another trade, overtrade, look for more opportunities when there wasn't much there to begin with. I really did like the one trade I took. It was a nice little scalp. It wasn't anything where I was targeting, where I'm targeting low of day, because this was an important liquidity sweep. I wasn't targeting anything major beyond the 5-minute gap, which is what I was confident in, right? Only take what you're confident in. You don't need to be the guy that's hitting the 1,000-point trades and you don't need to be the guy that says that they can catch this. They got an inversion here and held to the data low right here. You don't have to be that guy. I promise you, that's not realistic, and it's really not happening the way they try to make it seem. So I was happy with the low-hanging fruits today. I was happy getting what I could get, and I didn't want to be greedy. So that was what I'm most proud about today with myself, is just staying disciplined after my one trade, taking a winner, and saying, you know what, I'm cool with that. I don't need 200 every single day. I don't have to get back in. I don't have to try. And now I'm just going to sit here till 11:30. And then if this video is still going, but I'm going to sit here till 11:30 after my video, whatever, 12, and just watch price deliver. No stress, no nothing. Just watch price, learn from it, and then journal, and go on with my day. And I think that is a big step in the right direction. I have to keep following my plan, keep following my rules, and just keep finding good trades. I think it's big that I got 2 days in a row where I won on the day, and not just like a break-even win, like a $100 or $200 win. It's nice. That's very nice I got that, because it's super difficult sometimes when you're in a bad spot, which mentally I was in a bad spot recently trading, because I was just losing, and it just felt like even when I would get a winning day, the next day I would just throw it away. If we look at the analytics here, when we were on this stretch here, lost. It was like, okay, cool, we had a little winning day, big loss. Okay, cool, we had a winning day, loss. And we finally take a nice win, and we take another nice little win. And it's good to get the ball rolling in that direction, right? So, again, another reason that's just big is because confidence is super, super key when you're doing this job. It's all about confidence, because I know that if I follow my plan, I wait for high quality entries, I wait for all the things I know to wait for and do, I know that I will come out ahead more often than not. I know that I'll find trades more often than not. Because again, it's not on some hindsight, right? I thought about taking a position here, right? And this would have worked, right? I'm going to go through the day and kind of explain why. If you just wait for the high quality opportunities and you do the right things, you will more likely than not come out ahead. Because all the good opportunities today that I didn't take, right, because of X, Y, and Z, I'm not saying this is not some hindsight, oh, I took this or I should take this or whatever. It's just if you did, right? The things that I could have taken today would have been this inverse fair value gap right here. Would have worked, right? I could have validated a trade here on this inversion right there, right? It would have worked. Cool, that's the only two there. Sells off. Okay, there's nothing here. I'm not going to long this, right? Just selling off. Can't do anything. What do we got here? We have a obvious fair value gap after sweeping the low. We put in an order block here. I could have taken this trade, right? And again, the shoulda, coulda. Someone commented, thought it was kind of funny, but someone said that the shoulda, coulda, woulda pro or something. The main reason I didn't take this is just stop was so big. I didn't want to have a 50-point stop on 2 micros. I didn't want to take 1 micro trade, but I didn't want to take a 50-point stop here and then and just get stopped and like the fair value gap was still in play. Like it was just a nightmare scenario. But let's just say hypothetically I took this trade. Right? We could scale it this high, go break even, and then target this high, right? Cool. Like, every single trade today that you could have maybe taken with inverses that have actual context, this short here ends up working out, right? Every single contextual inversion fair value gap that makes any logical sense worked today. And that's the thing I need to keep reminding myself is that just wait for the clear stuff. Wait for something that makes sense and just execute. Don't worry about going to break even in 1 second. Don't worry about, waiting for extra confirmation. Just trust that it will work because it will work, right? It will work. It works more often than not, right? It really just does. I don't even know if this 5-minute triggered or closed. Didn't really, but even if you took that, you're still in profit, right? That's not really a trade. But my point being isn't just to go back through the day and be like, oh, I could have taken this, I could have done this, I should take this now, and I should always take this type of setup, or I should always take this up. No, I'm not saying you should, but what I'm trying to emphasize and highlight is the fact that if you even did take most of the setups, the majority of the time you're going to come out ahead. The times you don't come out ahead are the times that you're trading during just some ridiculousness, right? Let's just show you from last week. This was a great day. Let's just show you from last week, man. Right here. When do you get cooked? When your chart looks like this, right? When are you getting cooked? When you're shorting here. This wasn't even terrible short. When you're taking just either side of the market and you just can't give it up. You just can't give it up, right? That's when you're getting destroyed. Where is the clear inversions here? Where are they? There's nothing, right? This clear inverse here, right? But they're not clear because there's no context behind them. This is a day that you're not going to do well, right? And there's just always going to be a difference between doing well and just getting chopped up. What happened on this day, right? Oh, wow, if we would have taken this inverse here, we would have banked the first one of the day, but we weren't there that day to trade it, and we just got FOMO and just cooked ourselves, right? That's my point. That's what I'm trying to emphasize in this video, is just emphasize the fact that it's all on your decisions, man. It doesn't really matter how you trade. It does, because you have to have some sort of understanding of the market. You have to have been doing it for a while. Like, you're not just going to jump in as a trader and just and see things the way, and again, not like putting myself on a pedestal, but like, you're not going to see things the way I see them right away, right? If you've never traded before, I'm going to be a better trader than you. I'm not saying that I'm making millions of dollars yet, but I'm going to be a better trader than someone that started yesterday. That's just objectively true, right? And why is that? It's because I have spent time, I see things happen over and over and over. And what does that allow me to do? It allows me to be able to find setups. So it's all on me, right? It doesn't really matter too much what you're looking for, as long as you've seen it happen and you know that if you just follow your discipline, your risk management, all of that, you will be fine. And it's really, really hard for me to trust that. It's really, really hard for me to just get my mind to really wrap myself around that idea and really embrace it, because it's just sometimes tough, right? It's tough to see something, you miss a setup, and then you're trying to get into anything, right? You miss a great setup, and it's like, okay, cool, what's the next thing I can try to do? And then you lose, and it's like, oh my gosh, well, I would have won there, and then all these things happen, and then you're in a bad place, right? And it's just avoiding putting yourself in bad situations, right? You're not gonna drive through the hood with, money in your hands, chains on your neck, and a convertible, right? And expect that nothing bad is gonna happen. You don't put yourself in a dumb situation to have bad results, right? So don't put yourself in a bad situation when you're trading. When you're trading, don't put yourself in a bad situation, which is what I try and remind myself every morning when I wake up is don't do anything dumb, right? Don't go into the hood, walking around with $10,000 in each hand, some chains on your neck, looking like me, right? Don't do that. Do not be doing that. You know that you're not going to do that because you're not going to put yourself in a dumb situation, right? Same thing with trading. Don't put yourself in dumb situations where you're going to cause problems for yourself. You could walk through the hood with the money in your hands, chains on your neck, whatever, and it could just be a good day. No one's in a bad mood, whatever. And you get out, you walk through, and you're like, wow, I could do it. Like, I guess it didn't really matter. No, you just got lucky, right? You can get lucky in the market the same way. You can do the wrong things trading, and then you tell yourself, oh, wow, well, that worked. I made $1,000 today. I passed my account today. But then you try it again, and you get lit up, man. You get lit up. So don't put yourself in situations of danger. Just follow your plan, follow your rules, and just be calm. Control what you can control. And that's literally the blueprint. There is no blueprint. There is no 10-step plan. There is no whatever for trading. It's right in here. It's right in here. It says, follow my plan. Follow the plan that you know works. And don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about how much this guy made, how much his strategy got him today, because you didn't see it lose yesterday. You just saw that it won today on Twitter, right? Don't worry about anything else. Just worry about the intangibles. When people talk about their trading blueprints, their mastermind, their this, that, the other, it doesn't matter. Learn concepts, learn whatever, and understand yourself. Know what you're looking for. I can't even remember the last time that I looked for anyone else's opinion in the market but my own, and it's a freeing experience because I don't need someone's checklist. I don't need someone's bullet points. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want to see repeat, and I try and execute the best I can. I try and get better each and every day, and I tell myself, don't put myself in a opportunity or a situation that could harm me. Right? Do not do it. Just don't surround yourself. Don't surround yourself with bad people. Don't surround yourself with bad thoughts. It's all about the environment you put yourself in. And the quicker that I realize that and believe it and trust it and follow it, the quicker that you guys do that, we're all going to be so much better off for it. I promise. So that's enough, man, of my rambling. But super, super excited about having back-to-back winning days. I'm stoked on that. Because it just makes it feel like it's possible again, right? You go through the periods where it's like, is this going to work ever? And it makes it feel like it's possible again. It gives me some pep in my step, per se. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's really, really nice. It's really nice. Remind me in the comments, if you're watching this video to this point, please remind me. I have to take a trade on this account by today, tomorrow, or the next day. Because I didn't realize it's 30 days from the time you pass it, not when you pay the activation fee. So I paid the activation fee like 1 or 2 days ago. I haven't touched it yet. I'm going to just trade one micro, get in, get out, try and get like $1 or lose $1. Like I'm not trying to trade it, but I have to take a trade. I'm going to do it after the sessions. I locked it out before I knew this. So I locked the account out early this morning, so I can't take a trade right now. I just have to place any order and then just close it. So Please remind me in the comment. Please, please, please remind me if you're seeing this after market close in like 6 hours from now, 7 hours from now. Please remind me because I'll lose the account. I could lose the account if I don't take a trade on it, which is really annoying, but I have to. It's Top Steps rules, which is cool, but I didn't realize I passed this account on the 31st, so I have like a few days, if that. So I can't forget. But yeah, please remind me there. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take one small trade. If I'm gonna get into the micro, if it starts running my direction, I mean, I'm gonna try and like see what we can do, but expect it to be like a break even, nothing, small loss, whatever, right? We just have to do it. So that's where we're at, man. The account's down around 373, 374, whatever. It feels like we've just been in. It feels like we haven't really been in drawdown for too long. But it just feels like we've been on a losing period for a long time. We're really not that down bad on the account. The worst part is that we just don't have much of a buffer. Like we only have around $1,000. It would really stink to even get close to that buffer because I mean it just means you have to make so much more. But really happy with the day. And that's all that you can do is just come back tomorrow. And we come back tomorrow. It's Friday. Gonna be careful tomorrow. Try and be careful because it's been a decent week back. And I want to just be careful, end the week good. Maybe just drop my size a little bit. I don't know, right? We'll figure it out, but excited for tomorrow. It's been crazy this month. I can't wait for this month to be over and start a new, fresh one, but I will see you guys in the next video, man. I appreciate you guys. We've been killing it on the channel recently. Yesterday's video was the least viewed in the last 10, and it had 1,800 views. So that is mind-blowing to me that that's my worst performed video in the previous 10. We've just been crushing it, so I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe. This is like my main source of income right now, which isn't, you know what I mean, like just it helps me out, man. I get paid on these videos, so if you guys watch the videos, you guys see the ads, stuff like that, right? Like your boy gets a check every month from YouTube now, so it's pretty sick. Again, man, I really appreciate it, and yeah, just another day on the journey. What can we do, man? We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.